Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today is Friday, and you might know what that means if you're a member. I know it's been a while, but today is a Shop Talk Friday with Frank.
Yep.
And we got an interesting project going on today. We haven't had a whole lot of real in-depth projects recently, but Frank has got a big boner for his Ford backhoe. So why don't you fill him in there, Frank?
Well, this piece is a clamp that holds the hydraulic lines for the backhoe down and holds them uniform so they don't go all over the place and chafe and rub and whatnot. So my backhoe is missing.
No one likes your hose getting chafed.
Right. So my backhoe doesn't have either of these. And
zip ties just aren't good enough.
Right. They don't make this part anymore. So I found someone who had one, and I need two of them, so we are going to attempt to cast one out of aluminum. And that's the long and the short of it. So here's the part, FOMOCO, there's the part number.
So what's the plan here?
So the first plan is we need to make a mold, and this would be known as a pattern. This is the bottom section, which is called the
cope, I believe.
The cope. And
if it was a two-piece box, one is the cope and one is the drag. I forget. We both forget which is which. I think the cope is top, the drag's on the bottom because you kind of drag it when you flip it over. I could be wrong.
And
but
this
anyway,
is an open face cast.
We're just doing a one piece.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, we're going to be putting that piece on the bottom against that piece of 2x6 and tamping the sand around it.
Right, and I added a little extra piece to make it a little thicker because one of these you have room for a thicker piece, so I figured because the aluminum being not as strong as whatever this is,
feels like steel, yeah.
Want to add a little bit, so it's a little narrow. So Connor came up with the idea of putting it in the mold, packing the sand around it, and then when we flip it back up, just trimming out the sand that hangs over. Okay, so the first step is to lay that in there and to take talcum powder or baby powder, and you powder this so the sand doesn't stick to it. So I'm going to liberally coat that with...
Liberally? Well, I guess that's the one thing you can be liberal on.
Yes. Put a little bit on the side here. And all the casting bros can
tell us what we're doing
wrong. Go pound sand on this one. We've never done this.
Oh, I see what you did there. Hey.
So that seems sufficiently powdered. Now this is Petrobond casting sand. I know they make something called green sand, and
yeah, green sand is what I've heard of,
which is like sand and clay. This is, they use an oil of some kind to hold it together, and I see people using a sieve to get a nice fine grain of sand around the pattern. It doesn't go through a sieve, so we tried it through this, and it doesn't really seem to go through this. So maybe you don't. You
know, just that little pinch I was feeling, it's pretty smooth. I imagine this stuff has been, you know, already kind of sifted, and I guess it just didn't clump too much up while it was sitting.
And maybe the sifting is when the sand has been used a few times. Right now,
I don't know. The thing is, we don't know what the hell we're doing, so we're just going by the seat of our pants here.
All right, so I'm just going to sprinkle some in there and
tamp it down, go layer by layer, I believe, right?
Yeah, try to tamp the sides down first, I would assume, so it doesn't shift off that block.
I imagine we ought to do it gently so it doesn't move the pattern.
Right, and hopefully this will help someone when they want to make a stupid part for their Ford backhoe.
Yeah.
It's all
at the very least, it'll show them what not to do, depending on the outcome of our project.
It's either going to go really, really good, or it's not going to work at all. And everyone knows with backhoes, originality is the most important thing when repairing them.
We've got a car guy here who has a backhoe. Unfortunately, a Ford backhoe, which is why he has such a struggle with it.
And a bad one at that.
A lemon. It's a Friday machine, you know.
Yeah. So
anyway.
We'll build that up.
While he's doing that, I'm going to fire up the
why don't you show
the foundry here. So I'll show you what we're doing. So this is our janky little setup. I got my propane blacksmithing forge set up on end because the ladle doesn't fit in it, so I'm going to be setting it on top like so. Oh boy, we're gonna lose that brick. Careful. Yeah, there we go. So we got that. These are the bricks on top are stove bricks for refractory bricks, whatever, so they can handle the heat. I got some other regular bricks on the bottom just to block things up, and this brick right here, that's going to go on top, so it'll kind of try to hold the heat in a little bit, because aluminum, I don't know what the melting point is. It's not super high, but it is very conductive, so it conducts the heat away just as quickly as it goes in. So I've read. I think I've melted aluminum before. I can't remember. It's been many years. So I'll get this set up and fired up and get it melting.
Alright, so it's all packed in there. I did, I don't know, 5 or 6 layers. So now we're just gonna
look at that.
Scrape off the top. It is real.
Look how that scrapes.
It packs really well, almost like it's intended to. So now here comes the moment of truth. We're gonna carefully, I don't know if you actually have to be careful, flip this over. Well,
there's that. Now we got to pick that thing out here. I'll stand over here.
And we unfortunately didn't use any pick points, so
I almost, there a hole? No, there's no hole.
I almost wonder if a magnet.
We could try that if I have a,
or if anything, a little. Oh, you have the picks and tweezer drawer. So let me see if.
And once we get to the actual piece, we can. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Now, hang on. Since this piece was narrower, we have some of the sand overlapping, so when we pull this out, it's going to fuck up that corner. So let's trim that corner now.
With this?
With, well, whatever pleases you, I guess. Alright, so we got that trimmed out. Now we're just picking through those holes. You want to put 2 picks in, 1 in each hole, so you can lift it even. If this were a proper pattern, this would probably have a threaded hole, and you just thread a bolt in there and pull it up. This reminds me of that
Operation.
Yeah, that kid's toy.
Wow. Might have to machine a little bit, but
yeah, I'll have to do some post-cast machine work. Probably should knock that loose material from the holes, just get that right out of there.
This?
No, where the 2 holes were.
How do I do it without?
And just drill the holes later. You should be able to, if you just knock it off, I think you should be able to dump it out.
I don't want to risk it. Can I push it onto something?
You could try that.
There shouldn't be
so by DeFrank's watch, it's been 8 minutes. And all we got is a puddle of aluminum in there, so we're ready to go.
So this is a aluminum foil ball of salt. I've gotten 50% of the people that say it makes a difference, 50% of the people that say it does nothing. It's supposed to act as a flux, so when the aluminum is molten, you toss this in there. Nobody has said it hurts, so we're going to try it as regular table salt.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to get it in there.
I don't know if you can see, DeFrank is scraping a little bit of slag off the top. There really isn't much.
It's a bottom pour.
Yeah, this is a bottom pour ladle, so we don't have to worry much anyway. And also, safety is number 1, so we make sure we have a good bed of dry leaves on the ground and a fire extinguisher at the ready. Now go to the concrete apron and just bang it upside down.
While it's hot?
Yeah. Try to get that shit out. Alright, maybe it's not working.
I'm just gonna show you, this is what, about 30 seconds after we poured it?
Something like that.
And it's still pretty liquidy. It lost heat quick, but as you're pouring it loses the heat, and then it...
I can see it's all, when you first poured it, and also just like 30 seconds ago, the whole top was like domed, and see how it's flat now?
Yeah.
It's shrinking as it's cooling.
So we'll go over here and see how this one's doing. This is why you never cast something on wood, on a wood surface, because it'll fall over. And
yep.
so this, that little thin piece is hard, but it hit a cold table.
Yeah, just on a steel welding table. Oh, you see, like you were saying, it is starting to divot in there.
Which I think that's okay because it's so much thicker. Yeah.
And also, this is not a very critical.
So how long?
So don't touch it.
Oh.
Because that's what I was getting at before. Is I can even see some incandescence still. It's going to be liquidy for a long time, and if you touch it, obviously you'll fuck it up. So just walk away and you know, talk about how awesome you are and your great success. Then when it's cooled down a bit, we'll investigate. So we should have mentioned first that Frank watched a couple videos on YouTube of how to do this, so that makes us complete experts. So anybody that wants to comment otherwise is full of shit.
And it sunk a little. I noticed a lot of people's castings do that. I don't know why.
It's thermal expansion.
We added material and then also poured it higher, so it should be able to machine down with an angle grinder to a nice flat surface. So I guess I'm going to grab it here.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks promising.
So it's kind of stinky.
Actually, you want to do it on the...
Is it too hot though?
No, I was going to say knock that burnt shit off so you don't mix that in with the good sand. That's looking pretty damn good.
We'll do a side-by-side comparison.
That looks pretty goddamn good.
So
all right, Frank, let's see the...
All right, so here we go. This is the finished product. The part that was actually part of the real pattern, not the added part on top, came out really nice. Minimal cratering, really good webbing here, all really nice stuff. And then this was all on top, and I just took it down with an angle grinder. A little divot here, a little divot there, but it's no problem because it's already, you know,
it's already thicker
way thicker than it needs to be. So
look at that.
Here's the bottom.
And you know right where to put the holes.
Yeah.
That is something to be proud of, especially for a first go-around. Look at that. That's pretty fucking impressive.
I think it'll work out just fine. I'll get years and years and years of good service out of this.
Yep.
So
that was a fun project. It was actually pretty easy, I gotta say.
And we don't need to know what we did wrong. So.
Yep. Well, you know, I don't get too many know-it-alls on my videos. Although a few of my videos that get a lot of traffic, I get a lot of know-it-alls. I get my chainsaw sharpening video. I got so much fucking hate on that one. But anyway.
And if you wanted to make something nice, we could have, you know, taken more time in cutting an additional piece that was the same width, so we didn't trim the sand. And you could always put this on a Bridgeport or something and mill it down.
Yeah.
But it's going to be completely hidden. In fact, you would have to look for this to know it's even there. So so thank you for watching.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure you did. I think we sure enjoyed making this. And Yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there.
We'll try to post some more videos.
Yeah, keep up to date with our projects and videos, and hopefully maybe we'll make some more Friday night shop talk videos. I know a lot of people enjoy those.
Yeah.
And I've gotten questions if I am or if we're still doing those videos. But the truth is, you know, a lot of the times we hang out, we don't really do much. We just, you know, weld a little thing or two together. Not really video worthy.
I feel like I'm on that home shopping network. And while they're talking, the people are just spinning the tool around and pointing to it. And we have Jeff on the line. He bought one of these for his Ford backhoe. Yep. So I'll just center punch a couple holes in there, drill it out with the drill press, and then this part is done.
Donezo.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Stay up to date with what's going on. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on back for more.